Hi there, it's Claire from Clairified Creations, and today's video is going to be a semester update of nursing school and kind of a recap of the whole semester, how it went, how I did, and I am so excited to say that I officially passed my first semester. This semester was semester 1 out of 4, so I just have 3 semesters left in my nursing school journey, and then I will become a registered nurse. That is so insane to think about, that I only have a year and a half left of college. I took a total of 12 credits. I was enrolled in Pharmacology 1, Foundations of Nursing Practice, also known as Fundamentals. I know that those can be interchanged, but at UT they call it Foundations, and other schools they call it Fundamentals. It's the same thing. Clinical Immersion One, and lastly, my health assessment class. All of that combined definitely made me super busy throughout the semester. I was always doing something. I spent most of my time up here in this room. Let me first start off by saying that I'm going to be sharing all of the grades I got with you guys, not for comparison. The point is just to share every step of my nursing school adventure, and I'm trying to be super open and honest with you guys because I will be talking about some of my struggles, especially with grades. I did not pass every single assignment. I did actually end up with all A's. I got 3 A's and 1 A minus, but that was kind of how it went. If you made it through your first semester of nursing school, you deserve a peppermint milkshake from Chick-fil-A. I mean, I got one myself and it is really, really good. Or you just deserve something, because nursing school is hard, so don't be down on yourself if you didn't do as well as you'd hoped. I know I definitely could have done better on some of the assignments, but you just gotta be happy with what you did. You're passing, and that's really all that matters. Pharmacology was probably my hardest class that I took. I really had a hard time with it because the exams were just so different from everything else before. They really want to throw you in, and you're supposed to start thinking like a nurse. So the questions aren't simply just gonna be, what is the most common adverse drug reaction of this drug? No. That is too easy, apparently, according to all of our professors. They're going to give you a scenario, and then based off of that scenario, they want you to answer the most correct. Yeah, the most correct answer, and that really threw me off because there's multiple correct answers. Normally, I could limit the answer down to 2 choices, and pretty much always I would pick the wrong one, which was super annoying. Another thing that really got me was the select all that apply questions, especially in pharm. I would miss at least 2 or 3 that were select all that apply every single exam. And it's not because I didn't know the information. I would either second guess myself, or I was thinking, well, is that really an answer? Going into my first exam, I felt so nervous. I was just a nervous wreck beforehand, and then I took the first one and I made an 82%, so I passed and I was pretty happy. And then I went to thinking, man, I should have done better. I studied so much, and that is toxic, you guys. Definitely don't be like me and don't keep thinking about an exam grade. Whatever you got is what you got, and you've just got to move on. You can't be perfect all the time, and that is definitely something that I really need to work on. So the second exam rolls around, and I'm feeling a little bit better about this. I study differently. I changed my whole study habits, and I'm thinking, okay, I am really gonna get this. I take the exam and then I get an 83%. So at this point, I'm sort of concerned going into the next exam because I'm thinking, well, my average is only an 82.5. The cutoff at UT is a 75%. So you're required to have a 75% exam average and above a 75% to pass the course. I wasn't teetering on the edge or anything. If I had one bad exam grade, I knew that I was going to be in trouble. Fast forward, taking the third exam, and this exam I had pharmacology and my foundations exams on the same day right before Thanksgiving break. Surprisingly, I felt so much better about it. I felt really good. I knew that I had done a lot better, but I didn't know how much better. That night, I got grades back and I actually made a 97%. And that 97 was the saving grace for pharmacology. It really bumped up my exam average. It helped me relax a little bit. I was running around the house like a crazy lady, screaming at the top of my lungs because I had never made an A on pharmacology. And then comes the final. So the final was cumulative. I took the final and I felt about it. I was hopeful that I was gonna get an A in the class, but I wasn't sure because I was sort of on the edge of an A minus. I got my grade back a couple days later and I found out I made an 88%. And that 88% secured me with the A. I needed an 85% to get an A or above, and anything below that was gonna be an A minus. So I'm very happy with the way things turned out in pharmacology. If you guys want me to do like a study tips for pharmacology, study tips in nursing school, how I study in general, let me know in the comments down below, and I'd definitely be interested in filming that if you guys want to see it. Next was Foundations of Nursing. Now this class, I didn't put in a ton of effort. That is probably not good to admit on camera, but just me personally, I know some people really had a difficult time managing the concepts. I didn't find the course material that challenging. The wording of the questions for exams was definitely a bit weird, I felt like. My first exam, I got a 94%. My second exam, I got an 88. My third exam also got an 88%. And then on my cumulative final, this is where it gets a little bit lower, I got an 85%. 85 on the final was my lowest exam grade because I think at that point it was my last final I had to take and I didn't really care anymore. I also want to touch on something that I failed in that class. It was my ATI Proctored national exam. I got a level 1, and a level 1 is failing, a level 2 is passing, and then there's the 4 levels, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So I was in the bottom of the levels. Seeing that score flash at me, seeing that I got a failing grade, it was definitely heartbreaking because I put in a lot of time and effort into studying for the ATI. I did the ATI practices, I looked at the textbook. I felt really confident. I was shooting for a level 2 or level 3, mainly even a level 3. I thought it was going to be possible and I was going to go out of there and not have a care in the world. And then I saw my score and I thought, wow, that is awful. I'm sure you guys can relate to that feeling. It's definitely not something that is enjoyable, but it helped me learn that it is okay to fail an exam. It's okay. Like, that's not the end of the world. It only counted for 5% of my grade, but because I scored the level 1, they gave me a 50% as an assignment for 5% of my grade, so it knocked my overall score down 2.5 percentage points. And because of that ATI, I ended up with an A minus in the class. Clinical Immersion One was sort of a fun class. We got to do a lot of hands-on. This is where your clinical is you apply the skills that you learn in nursing school. So you actually get to do hands-on things with patients. You get to go to a hospital. The grades I had in clinical, there weren't too many grades. I had 3 checkoffs, and on all of those 3 checkoffs, I got 100, so that was good. And then my dosage calc exam, also I got a 100. Then there were some other smaller random assignments thrown in there, and I got 100s on those. So that was my overall grade. I think I got a 99-ish as a grade. Health assessment was very unpleasant in the beginning. That's the best way I can describe it, because we had these weekly quizzes and I failed a good number of them. I'd say about half of the quizzes were failing grades, and I'm not just talking 70s or below. I really failed them. Like, I got a 40, a 50, a 60. Yeah, definitely not good. Seeing that score every week, it just kept dropping my grade, and I honestly felt like I was never going to get it, and the quizzes were going to just tank my grade and I was going to get a B in the class. Thankfully, we had 2 more major assignments that kind of made up for it. The other really big assignment was my head-to-toe final. So if you don't know what that is, it's literally what it sounds like, a head-to-toe full assessment, and most schools either give you a certain time limit or a certain rubric to follow. They're very specific about it, and I got a 94% on that final. I remember leaving the head to toe thinking that I made a 100. I was convinced. I told my family, I said, you know, I did really good. And then I got my grade back a week later and I was like, huh, How did that happen? Because I fully expected the 100. I still made an A on it though, so I'm not going to be too picky. And that wraps up my whole nursing school experience. That's a little update. For next semester, I'm going to be taking more classes than I did this year. I'm going to be taking 5 classes in the spring, and they are Pharmacology 2, Psych Mental Health, which I've heard is very challenging, Clinical Immersion 2, Nursing Research, and I think that is going to involve a lot of papers, and I am not looking forward to that. And lastly, I have my Med-Surg 1 class. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any video requests, I'd love to hear them, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!